The starport of Lumen Prime shimmered with trade lights and drifting banners as envoys crossed paths under vaulted glass. Eli walked among them in plain attire, carrying a case that looked heavier than it was. He was assigned to observe and to blend in and to keep peace without being seen. Most thought him a junior aide with a borrowed badge and a borrowed smile. Only the quiet hum beneath his skin knew otherwise. Princess Nova of the Aurelian Reach arrived with a retinue of scholars and guards. Her people glowed faintly when amused and dimmed when worried. On this night, her light flickered with stress. The Council Summit demanded alliances and performances, and she was weary of both. She wished for one small thing that felt ordinary. When Nova noticed Eli, she mistook his calm for kindness. He listened while others spoke over her. He answered with patience when she asked about stations and customs. He did not glow or bow or angle for favor. That absence of hunger drew her closer. They walked past a fountain of suspended water beads. Nova hesitated, then spoke too quickly. "Can you act to be my boyfriend?" She asked, not knowing his true rank. Just for the summit, she added. It would silence rumors and give me room to breathe. Eli considered the request with a still face. He weighed protocols against people. He knew the Reach valued bonds made in public. He also knew the summit carried threats that hid behind smiles. Protection could wear many masks. He agreed with a nod. On the surface, it was a role. Underneath, it became a perimeter. He set boundaries with gentle humor. He matched her pace. He learned the cadence of her light. The act began at the welcome gala. They entered together. Whispers rippled like static. Nova brightened with relief. Eli smiled in a way that disarmed cameras. He felt eyes testing him, and he let them slide. Challenges came as gifts. A rival envoy proposed a dance meant to corner Nova. Eli stepped in with a courteous bow and claimed the floor. He moved well enough to end the question. The rival retreated with a laugh that rang hollow. At dinners, Eli spoke little. When he did, his words were precise. He deflected barbs. He praised Nova without flattery. He never lied, yet never revealed. His restraint became a shield. Between events, they shared quiet corridors. Nova asked about his home. He answered with stories of long voyages and learning names of stars. She spoke of duty and the weight of expectation. Their conversation grew warm. The act began to feel less like a mask. Threats surfaced on the third day. A data leak traced to a service wing. Security tightened. Nova dimmed with fear. She tried to hide. Eli requested a walk to clear her mind. They stood by a viewport watching a blue sun flare. Eli adjusted a ring that was not jewelry. Signals moved without sound. Teams repositioned. The leak collapsed into nothing. No alarm sounded. Nova never knew how close the edge had been. Later that night, an elder confronted Eli. The elder sensed power and demanded lineage. Eli replied with respect and silence. Silence carried weight. The elder stepped back uneasy. The summit climaxed with a vote. Nova spoke with clarity. All eyes formed. The Reach secured trade and safety. Applause rolled like thunder. Nova glowed brighter than the banners. When the halls emptied, she turned to Eli. "Thank you," she said softly. "I will miss our act." Her light wavered with something real. Eli faced a choice he had delayed. He could vanish as planned. He could also honor truth. He chose honesty without spectacle. He told her he was not an aide. He served as a high sentinel tasked with guarding crossroads. His rank outranked fleets. His duty demanded anonymity. He had accepted the role because protection sometimes meant closeness. Nova listened without interruption. Her glow steadied. "You protected me," she said. "You treated me as a person. That matters more than rank. They stood in silence, broken only by engines. Eli prepared to depart. Nova surprised him with a laugh. "Then act once more," she said. "Walk me to the dock." They walked side by side. No cameras. No whispers. Just two figures beneath the stars. When they parted, Nova bowed not as a princess, but as a friend. Eli boarded his vessel. Orders updated. The Reach was safe. As the ship slipped into dark, he allowed himself a rare smile. Humanity had not conquered by force alone. It endured by choosing care when power would suffice. Time passed across jumps. News from the summit echoed through channels. Eli returned to routine patrols. Yet memory lingered. He recalled Nova practicing speeches. He recalled shared jokes about gravity and food. These thoughts did not weaken him. They sharpened purpose. Across the Reach, Nova faced new pressures. Allies tested agreements. Opponents probed borders. She applied lessons learned. Listen first. Speak clearly. Choose partners with steady eyes. A crisis arose near a mining ring. Pirates masked as traders. The Reach requested neutral mediation. A sentinel vessel arrived. Nova recognized the call sign. Her light flared with surprise. Eli arrived under standard cover. He met Nova in a chamber lined with maps. They greeted with professional calm. Yet warmth threaded their words. They reviewed tactics. They planned a response that favored restraint. Eli proposed a corridor of mercy. Offer pirates exit and work. Nova supported the idea. Some scoffed. The plan succeeded. Violence dissolved. Workers returned home. Trust grew. So did rumors. Nova addressed them directly. She named cooperation. She refused spectacle. Her people approved. Eli prepared to leave again. Nova stopped him. Not as before. She asked a question grounded in choice. Would you stay as an advisor? No act, no mask. Eli weighed the code. Sentinels could serve openly after missions. He requested clearance. It was granted with quiet respect. He stayed, not as a lover defined by rumor, as a partner in duty. They learned to argue kindly. They learned to rest. Human methods spread. Empathy paired with planning. Strength paired with mercy. The Reach thrived. Years later, a memorial rose at the starport. It honored a summit where peace turned. Nova spoke. Eli stood nearby. No one doubted his rank now. No one feared it either. The story traveled. It was told without exaggeration. A human accepted a simple request. He protected without conquest. An alien princess chose trust. Together they proved something old. Care could be strategy. Power could serve quietly. Stars listened. The Reach invited observers from distant systems. They studied trade flows and civic rituals. They noticed mixed teams. They noted how disputes cooled before burning. Reports spread. Some skeptics tested limits. A blockade threatened supplies. Eli coordinated relief without escalation. Nova addressed citizens with calm resolve. Their unity steadied markets. The blockade lifted. A festival followed. Music adapted to many ears. Food bridged chemistry. Nova laughed freely. Eli danced poorly. Crowds cheered honesty. At night, they spoke of origins. Eli shared fragments of earth, oceans, and storms. Nova shared tales of crystal forests. They compared myths. They found shared values. A messenger arrived from the Sentinels. A new frontier needed guidance. Eli considered departure. Nova considered loss. They discussed paths openly. They chose a rotation. Eli would serve and return. Nova would govern and travel. Distance became rhythm, not barrier. On one return, Eli faced an old foe. A warlord sought leverage through fear. Eli dismantled the plan with dialogue and precision. Lives were spared. The warlord stood down. Nova honored the effort publicly. She credited teams. She avoided hero crowns. The people learned humility from leaders. Children at academies studied the summit case. They debated ethics. They practiced listening. They simulated choices where mercy won. Eli visited one class. Students asked about courage. He said courage was staying present. He said courage was choosing people. Time softened edges. Age marked both. Nova matured into wisdom. Eli carried scars with grace. At the end of a long season, they returned to the fountain. Water beads still floated. They watched reflections. No act remained. Only shared life. The stars kept their distance. Peace endured. Humanity found its place among many. Not above. Not below. Beside. Historians later argued about cause. They measured treaties. They counted ships. They missed quieter forces. A single choice can bend paths. A calm answer can stop a blade. Respect can travel faster than fear. Eli and Nova never claimed legend. They corrected stories when asked. They smiled when thanked. When Nova retired, she planted trees near the port. Roots stabilized soil. Shade cooled streets. Eli helped dig. Citizens joined. Eli eventually returned to Sentinel halls. He taught recruits. He spoke of masks used gently. He spoke of listening. Nova visited as an elder envoy. She debated policy. She praised patience. She teased Eli about dancing. When they parted again, it was without ache. Their bond had matured. It was woven into systems and habits. Ships came and went. The fountain glittered. Children asked why peace felt normal. Teachers pointed to choices. The tale ended without fireworks. It lived in routines. It endured in trust. It endured because someone once said yes. Beyond the reach other powers watched. Some copied methods. Some resisted. Time favored the patient. Eli received one final message. A note of thanks from Nova. No seal. No title. Just warmth. He archived it with care. Then he looked out at stars. Work continued. Thus the story stands. A human did not conquer. He accompanied. An alien did not demand. She invited. Between them grew a future. Quiet, resilient, shared. Readers may search for spectacle. They will not find it here. They may find something sturdier. Peace requires practice. It rewards humility. It asks for courage daily. Eli lived that truth. Nova led by it. The